Hey everybody, Pastor Ken from Bethel Church, and I want to talk to you if you have kids at home. And a bunch of you do, not everybody, but a bunch of you got kids at home. And I want to talk, I've been thinking about you, I've been thinking about what that's like for you with kids at home, especially little kids at home, that you're used to having gone for the school day, and then when they get home from school, you have warm, fresh cookies and ice cold milk for them, and you chat about the day. But now, they're home all day. And for some of you, you're homeschoolers, and that's nothing new. But for a lot of you, that's a completely different thing. You got all the other stuff that you got to do. Plus, now you have the little ones at home, and it's been that way for a few weeks, and it's going to be that way until the fall. So I've been thinking about you. And I am speaking as one who, with my wife Lois, had kids at home from teaching. We homeschooled. So we had the kids at home, and there were eventually 8 of them. And they were at home from, we had kids at home from 1987, when the schooling of our oldest began, until the year 2016, when Hope graduated from high school. And Hope is still with us. We've always had kids at home. And I would never want to set up our family as a model of how to do this at all. I wouldn't definitely want to set up our family as a model of education. And I'm not really even talking about education, but I want to talk to you a little bit, just briefly, about how to have meaningful time together at home when your kids are all at home together. I guess I would want to say, first of all, cherish these times while you can. I know when you're a young parent, you probably get tired of old guys like me saying that, but it's still true, and it's going to be true. This is a rare and wonderful moment, an opportunity for you to be together, to learn together at home. And here's one of the things that always helped me, and I want to share it with you. I want you to think about 3 words: discipleship, apprenticeship, courtship. Discipleship, apprenticeship, courtship. As a dad, as a Christian dad, here's how I kept my sanity in terms of thinking about my responsibilities toward Kyle, Holly, Chuck, Heidi, Hannah, Daniel, Wes, and Hope. And that was, I am responsible to help them to lead them, to coach them, to encourage them in following Jesus. That's primary, that's paramount. That's called discipleship. So as a dad, and if you're a mom, as a mom, think, I'm responsible to help them with discipleship, help them follow Jesus. That's paramount. Think about that. If they follow Jesus, he's never going to lead them in the wrong way. He's never going to misdirect them. That's the key thing you want to remember, that they would follow Jesus. So that's number 1. So that's discipleship. And then there's apprenticeship. You prepare them for life. Prepare them to go out into the world and make a living and make a difference and be able to function in society. Think about that as apprenticeship. Watch over their life and help them gather different kinds of knowledge and skills so that they can go out into the world and they can make a difference and they can make a living. As a parent, all day, every day, there are opportunities to contribute towards that through the responsible, chores that they do, or through helping them follow their delights in the areas of their life where they have interest. And I would watch each child. I would watch their eyes, and I would study their heart, and I would try to see, what are they gifted in, and what are they interested in, and what do they love, and what do they like, and what do they want to do, and what do they want to read about, what do they want to study about. And I would nudge them in the direction of their interest, because it's probably following their sweet spot, the way God wired them and the way God gifted them. And if you're wise, you'll push them in the direction that they're leaning when it's good. Our son Wesley was a very, very hard laborer. And I thought, well, I'd like to see him go to college, and I kind of nudged him into going to college. And I remember him driving his truck off to college, and then I remember hearing back, he did not like college at all. But he loved work, and he had a tremendous work ethic. I said, well, if you're going to work, then work in something where they will pay you well, like the skilled trades. And now he's a successful plumber, and he works hard, and he does well. I'm sure he's going to do even better as he gets older and gets more experience and so forth. We watched his eyes, listened to his heart, and nudged him in the direction of his desires and gifting and interest. That's apprenticeship in a way. So think about this. You're responsible for their discipleship. You're responsible for their apprenticeship. And then we use the word courtship, and it may be not the right perfect word to use, but it matches discipleship and apprenticeship. And that is, as a family, you want to help guide them toward marrying in the faith, finding a godly mate and helping them learn to evaluate the faith and the character and the virtue of another person. And so whether you do that through dating relationships or kind of a courtship arrangement, whatever you do, think that through carefully. You're there to help them in their courtship, to help them to learn to evaluate the faith and the character and the virtue of another person, and for them to increase in faith and character and virtue. So another person of exemplary faith and character and virtue is attracted to them. Those are the things you're working. So as you're home together, just in the morning as you pray together, a brief time in the Word, a brief time of prayer, and then get them engaged in things that will help them. One of our daughters is a homemaker. She's a wife and a mom. And she had a sense of that calling on her life just as a little girl. And I remember that she would get up in the morning and she would go over at a certain time of day, maybe 10 o'clock in the morning, and go over in the corner of the dining room and turn on her stereo, and she would listen to Gateway to Joy with Elizabeth Elliot. And so Elizabeth Elliot became kind of a mentor on the radio for Holly. And it helped her. And to this day, she'll say that helped form her spiritually. That was a formal part of how we trained her or nudged her toward discipleship and towards homemaking and motherhood. And there are a lot of other creative things that you can do. We could have done more than we did in terms of watching the eyes of the kids and helping them to develop skills and to get training and to get certifications or to get experiences in different ways. So just think like that. What I'm trying to say is keep it really simple. Don't try to get too sophisticated. Just think, I'm responsible for discipleship, I'm responsible for apprenticeship, I'm responsible for courtship. And then every day I would say, I want them to read something that's really valuable or meaningful, or like Charlotte Mason called living books. Books that were written by people who lived through the experiences, and they're fascinating, compelling, engaging, magnetic kinds of books. You want to find books like this and put them in their path so they're always reading something good. So a chunk of every day ought to be reading something really good. And a chunk of every day ought to be narrating what you read or writing down what you read. And then that can easily be reviewed by dad or mom for capitalization, for punctuation, for usage, for grammar, for vocabulary, and lots of different things. And then, a math curriculum, a simple math curriculum of some kind, like Saxon math, just to nudge them into doing, some math every day. And so, kind of reading, writing, arithmetic, right? And so I hope I'm not getting in any trouble with teachers here who are skilled and who are gifted and who are professionals. But just as a dad who's had kids at home with him for many, many years, I also sometimes worked at home. And I do remember living on the end of a dead end road out on Rutledge Road in Central Ohio. And I remember working up early and going to my office, my study upstairs in the Garrett study, and working really hard and laboring and studying and writing. And then I remember looking down and watching the kids as they played and having the freedom to go down there and to take a break and hit them 100 fly balls each and to play with them and to enjoy being with them. I just say, create a warm atmosphere in your home that's really warm and really caring. And, Raymond Moore once wrote in a book that influenced me a lot. He said, children have a natural curiosity, and to learn, all they need is a natural curiosity and a warm, responsive parent. Whatever you do, don't get frustrated, don't get angry, don't put too many demands on yourself, or you can't be a warm, responsive parent. To be a warm, responsive parent is critical. And think about it like this. When you put them in bed at night, and when you listen to their stories, and when you pray with them, you want their little hearts to feel loved and secure and listened to and cherished. Not just pressure them to get somebody's curriculum done or pressure them to get some kind of lesson done, but rather just graciously as a family work together, live together, learn together, follow Jesus together, think discipleship, apprenticeship, courtship. I hope that's helpful. Been praying for you.